say. And secondly, what I said also that conflict prevention is better than conflict firefighting. What actually happens when there's no conflict and a dispute or a persistent issue is at hand, it goes under the table and it is not discussed at all. And suddenly there is a crisis which comes up, and then the world or the international community becomes aware of that. I'll just give you an example of Kashmir. For example, when there is no crisis, Kashmir is never discussed, and as we always say that it is the Kashmir dispute resolution in line with the aspirations of the people of Kashmir and in line with the UNSC resolutions that will address many issues. The core that resides between Pakistan and India is Kashmir. So unless we do not enter into dispute resolution, conflict resolution, it can be through initially conflict management and then leading to the conflict resolution. But if we don't start at it, and then what you witnessed just recently, the crisis, it will always erupt. We will remain hostage to one incident and we will be back to zero from where we started. So these are the two fundamentals we need to draw before we move forward on any discussion. Coming over to your question related to deterrence, balance and strategic stability. At the end of whatever ceasefire which has now taken place and has been affected, if I say in the deterrence domain, while at the conventional level, between two contiguous nuclear powers or any two nuclear powers, notion of deterrence is very important because it provides stability. So whenever deterrence is disturbed, it has to be reestablished. So in this case, when the deterrence was disturbed, when the Indians conducted the missile strikes and did the kinetic actions here, so that disturbed the deterrence stability and we had to restore the deterrence, and remaining within the conventional domain, we reestablished the deterrence and tried to achieve that balance. Fundamentally altered in this 96 hours conflict. Let me tell you why I spoke about the thresholds. The threshold of what we say conventional warfare has significantly degraded. You are very well aware about the conflict, the history of conflict as it goes. Whenever it has occurred at less 71 and 65, it was always confined to the disputed territory. This time it has transcended that and come to the international border. Now that has a different connotation. And the second basic fundamental change which has come, that instead of targeting the borders first, which used to be the conventional domain or erstwhile domain, the cities have been targeted and the borders have relatively remained, if not silent, comfortable. So when you have directly targeted the cities and when you have crossed the threshold of disputed territory into the international border, this has significantly lowered the threshold.
The spirit of jointness in the services and physically integrate a number of processes in the three services which we are doing slightly differently and in a standalone kind of manner. It's been 2.5 years now, and we've achieved some modicum amount of success in this particular endeavor of ours, and some of it was exhibited during the recently concluded operation, in which at least we had this joint planning, joint intelligence, joint working together, logistics, etc. All this were brought into one fold, and this application of force was done in a joint kind of a manner. There cannot be any timelines for creation of this integrated theatre commands. We've learned from our friends and partners, and this particular event also will throw up a few lessons for all the three services, and so some of them maybe draw different kind of lessons. We got to still reconcile. It's just about a few weeks from this operation, and we'll have a look at how did it play out, what were the shortcomings, and then we'll create something which is workable and more which is India-centric, which looks after Indian requirements. So that we will do shortly. Talking about strategic stability, what India has done is politically they have drawn a new red lines of their tolerance against terror. And this, I hope, this particular operation, it's basically lying in military domain. So that should bring about some lessons for our adversary also, and hopefully they learn that this is a limit of India's tolerance. Means we've been subjected to this proxy war and terror for the past almost about 2 decades or maybe more. and we've lost a lot of people, and we want to put an end to it. So hopefully, strategic stability, to bring about strategic stability, it requires two hands to clap together, to join together. Hopefully, they understand this.